Hi, today I want to go right back to basics with effective training design because most people, and you're probably one of them, has kind of picked it up as you've gone along. You've never been formally taught. So in terms of going back to basics, the reason I wanted to do this is thinking back to March 2020, you all know what happened then. The L&D world went into a bit of a mild panic. And people decided that they couldn't deliver virtually because it was completely different to delivering face-to-face. Obviously, we've overcome that now. And people were struggling to design training for the virtual environment, whereas I found the transition incredibly easy. And I started to wonder why that was. And it turns out it's because I was doing design in a much more structured and a much more robust way than a lot of my peers. And the reason that I was finding that transition so much easier is because I was following the ADDIE model. Now, ADDIE has been around forever. Well, not forever, obviously. It was invented at some point. It's been around for a very long time. It's a very top-line model, which is why I'll be totally honest with you. I pretty much dismissed it until about 3 or 4 years ago because I thought, well, that's so broad, it's so obvious, it doesn't help me. Now, I'll just explain to you what that is in case you haven't heard of it. So ADDIE stands for Analysis, Design, Develop, Implement and Evaluate. So it all makes total sense. There's nothing there that's going to surprise anybody. But as I started to work with people to help them overcome this sudden and urgent obstacle of designing for virtual delivery, it became very clear very quickly that we had lost a D. Now, analysis, yes, we all know the importance of doing a good analysis. We all do our best to do a really thorough analysis. We do the best we can in the time we've got and with the access we're given. So that was happening more or less. And then there was the design, and then people would go and implement, they would go and deliver. But it became apparent very, very quickly that my idea of design and most people's idea of design is absolutely not the same. I've got a couple of examples for you here. This is a car. It's designed. Yeah, it's designed. We know what that car is going to look like. Here's a house. Same thing. Designed. You can't live in that house. You can't drive that car. And that's because it's still just a concept. Those things need to be built, they need to be structured, they need to be developed and put together. They need to be made 3D. And this is where a lot of people were really struggling with. So the analysis was there, the top level design was there, but the development of that design, that really putting the meat on it, that building it into something that is really going to come to life and is obvious, was not there. People were working from one-page outlines, thinking, I know what I mean by that, therefore that's fine. And you know, obviously we can often get away with that. If you're the subject matter expert, you can get away with that. But what if something unexpected happens? What if you need someone else to deliver material on your behalf? What if your stakeholders say, actually, we're not happy with this. We need to see exactly what's going to be covered. We need to be sure that you're covering X, Y, and Z. We can't just go with, trust me, I'm a trainer. So this detailed design, this development is incredibly important. And that's one of the things that I focus on in helping people, really, because it's not just good for your stakeholder. It's good for you because it helps you with your mental practice. It really helps you to think, well, will that actually work in reality? And as we've discovered time and time again, if you are an associate, or if you're using associates, it means they don't have to mind read, and it means that they can actually deliver what is in your head, what has been agreed with the client, without having to second guess all the time, which frankly is exhausting. Also can lead to lots and lots of inconsistencies between deliverers and over time. And it just means that the delegates may not get the experience that the stakeholder is paying for. So let's go back to first principles. Let's not forget that second D in ADDIE. And just that final reminder, that's analyze, design, top level, develop in detail, implement and evaluate. So I hope you found that useful.